Okay, hey guys, and welcome. So today we're taking a bit of a departure from our regular Diablo 2 Reign of the Warlock content, and we're checking out Diablo 4. I don't know how my audience feels about Diablo 4. I personally bought the original game and the original expansion, the Nahantu one. I forget what it's called now, Vessel of Hatred or something. Anyway, very forgettable. I'm sorry to say, Blizzard. I played them a little bit. They were just okay. Then I stopped playing. I went back to Diablo 2. Having said that, this most recent release, the Hatred, Lord of Hatred one, has been very interesting. I will say, before I even get into it, I just want you guys to know this is not a sponsored video. Nobody's paying me for this opinion. It's completely my own personal, unbiased opinion. I did pay money for the game; it wasn't given to me or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for the paladin, right? Right from the Diablo 2 days, that was always my favorite class, and I really enjoyed the paladin. So when they introduced the paladin, I was kind of like, oh, it's almost $60, but I have to try it. Not only that, but I wanted to buy it so I could cover it for content for the sake of basically knowing if it's good or not and being able to disseminate that to my audience, at least as far as my opinion goes. It's all subjective, right? Like what's good to me is going to be terrible to somebody else, and vice versa. So it's just personal preference, right, guys? If I'm being honest, I still prefer Diablo 2 over Diablo 4. But Diablo 4, you just have to take it for what it is. It's its own game, right? Now, having said all that, I will share my personal opinion, which is that if they were to bring some of the Diablo 2 systems and mechanics over to Diablo 4, systems such as rune words, like I understand they tried to do something like that in Diablo 4, and we'll get into it, but that's not rune words, right? That's an entirely different system that they're just calling a rune word system. Because, you have to fit two pieces together and put it in an armor, but it's extremely dumbed down, extremely simplified version of what rune words actually are, and I just don't like it. It feels cheap. So it just reminds me Diablo 4 is for a more casual audience, and so I respect it from that standpoint. But for like a hardcore gamer, a diehard fan, it feels like a dumbed down, stripped down version. I don't appreciate it. Anyway, that's enough mumbling from me, ranting from me. Let's get into the game. So as you guys could probably see, it was a level um, 66 druid that I have. The new level cap, as far as I'm aware, is 70. So I'm almost there. I basically spent all weekend trying to level up this guy, and I played through the entirety of the game, the campaign, so I could have an idea of that before making this video. I will say Diablo 4 is much improved. It's very smooth gameplay. Um, it's a lot of fun with all the cosmetics. Like, there's a system now where you get tokens just by playing, and you can cash in those tokens for either a different kind of token that you can make purchases with, or you can outright just cash in the tokens for like different cosmetics. So it's a cool system. I like that they've added in the free version, like that you get to participate with that system even if you don't purchase anything, right? I like that. I don't want Diablo to feel like a casino, right, where you're just constantly purchasing things and gambling on loot boxes and this, that, and the other. So I don't mind if they have paid options. They gotta make their money, but at the same time, I want those to kind of be tucked away for people who are interested in that sort of thing. I don't want it to be like front row and center here quickly. Buy our expansion, buy our cosmetics, etc. I remember someone made a video. I forget who it is now, but someone made a video covering that subject, just basically showing the scummy practices Diablo 4 was employing for a while, where people would almost like misclick and all of a sudden they would make a purchase they didn't intend to make, right? And so it feels kind of like predatory when they do stuff like that. So it's nice to see that that's not really the case anymore, at least as far as I could tell. So yeah, I mean, I made a Hammered In. goes without saying. Typically in Diablo 2, this is the part where I would show you like my gear and stats, except for the fact that in Diablo 4, your statistics are not something you invest into yourself. It's just kind of something that levels up automatically, right? In addition to that, you can also invest into your stats through things like gems. I don't think I have anything I can show you right now. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm all out of gems, but normally I think it's in this screen. You would have some gems if you have them, and you can put those gems inside of sockets, right? Like these sockets they have on your gear. So you can increase your strength or other stats that way. But otherwise, everything is, as you can tell, it just goes up automatically. I think the only reason my strength and dexterity are up are because of gear. Otherwise, they'd probably all be about the same 111. So I'll show you guys my gear. The itemization of Diablo 4 compared to Diablo 2 is not as interesting, if you ask me. I think they could do more with it. The items are kind of forgettable, in a sense. I don't mean to completely like crap on the game. Don't get me wrong. You know, obviously effort went into this, and this is someone's vision, creative vision, right? So it's cool. I'll say that it's cool, but I'm just partial to the way Diablo 2 itemization is, where everything feels impactful. The other thing with Diablo 4 is I was constantly finding upgrades to my gear, so no sooner would I find a weapon and put sockets and add gems and add affixes and things like this, and then I would find an upgrade 5 seconds later, which kind of made the whole process feel irrelevant. Because now I have a stronger weapon, so why did I bother adding sockets and doing all this other stuff to my previous weapon? With Diablo 2, there's this kind of grind that feels impactful but also rewarding, where you might not get your next meaningful upgrade for another hour, but when you find it, it really boosts your gameplay. So I feel like you haven't quite hit the mark with that yet in Diablo 4, but you know, it's a work in progress. To be honest, I bought the game mostly for what it can be in the future and not so much what it is right now, because it's just not that interesting itemization wise, which is a big part and a core part of the gameplay. So, you know, two sockets is not very interesting. It doesn't allow for much variety. Also, this rune system is, again, extremely basic and pared down. Two sockets is the maximum you can have. And then, you know, like, here's the runes. Oh, this goes on top, and you know that because it's shaped like this, and this goes on the bottom because it has a little wedge, and like it's like, are you dumb? I'm not dumb. Why do we dumb down the system so much? If you guys know anything about the rune system in Diablo 2, it's completely different. You can have up to 6 sockets. You have to have the right rune order. The statistics of the rune word are greatly variable. There's just all these aspects around it that are far more interesting. And they tried to kind of like play off the essentially fame of that system and call it the rune word system here. You can get like Ohm rune and all this stuff, but it's just not the same. Like, it feels very cheap. I wish they would call it something else. They could call it like an enchantment system. That would feel good. But to call it a rune word system, even though that is Diablo jargon, is just no, because it's like, it's just not, you know? Anyway, so that's the helmet. It has a special power. Judging an enemy grants you 20% damage reduction for 8 seconds. Judgment is like a type of modifier, like open wounds, right? It's something that the paladin can get on his skills. That's my understanding. Keep in mind, guys, when I explain things, I'm bound to make a ton of mistakes. I literally spent one weekend with this expansion in particular, and prior to that, I spent maybe 2 or 3 days with Diablo 4 in total. So we're talking less than a week of gameplay. I'm not an expert in Diablo 4 by any means. I'm not going to sell myself as one, at least until I've got the knowledge under my belt and I'm confident about what I know. But right now it's a learning journey, and I'm just bringing you guys along for the showcase of the expansion and the learning journey. So, okay. Here's my armor. It's got an ability. It says every 6 seconds you gain 1 stack of overpower. Gaining overpower spawns a volatile blood drop, and you can see these here. And collecting it causes it to explode, dealing 13,888 physical damage around you. So it's a lot of damage it deals. I think it's based off your weapon damage, like all of your skills are. And it's an interesting item. I have found stronger chest plates, but I choose to keep it because I like the unique modifier. Gloves, obviously, absolutely nothing special, but they're the strongest gloves I've found so far. These pants, when you take damage from non-physical type, you gain 160 resistance to that damage type for 6 seconds. Very cool when you're fighting a boss or something like that. These have this ability to chill, causes the enemies... you're permanently unhindered and leave behind a trail of frost that chills enemies. So these are kind of like a recall from Diablo 3, where there was a pair of boots that had a similar effect where you're unhindered. And these ones leave a trail of frost, as you can see. And when enemies like basically touch on that, right? So like when I'm fighting a mob, I like to go in circles. It slows them. It's very useful, right? Especially with some of my skills that like pin them in place and whatever. Okay, so very cool. Then here's the weapon. Huge damage essentially is all it's doing. Lucky hit, 15% chance to restore 8 to primary resource. So like not bad. Then it has this other bonus, but I think it's for druids only, if I'm not mistaken. It's a critical strike bonus. Then these rings, this one again, it's a chance to like unleash a certain amount of damage. In this case, it's like 100,000 damage. This one again increases your Judicator skills, which is the modifier I was referring to earlier, right? Judgment. And then the amulets are rare. Again, it's just the highest stat amulet I found so far. So all in all, this guy so far is doing really well. I'm playing on hard difficulty. I can honestly probably bump that difficulty up now. And in fact, maybe I will. Maybe that's the thing to do now. So let's see if I can handle a higher difficulty. So we're just gonna leave the game for now. Okay, and start game, but wait, it didn't allow me to change difficulty. That's weird. Like I said, guys, I'm still learning, and like there's a lot to learn. I guess we're not going to change the difficulty just yet, and perhaps it wants me to do that from town. There's like a special area you visit that allows you to change the game difficulty, so maybe that's what I have to do. So like, yeah, you can see, you pick up these runes, you can upgrade them, yada yada. I just don't find them in a very exciting system. If they added the number of sockets that like Diablo 2 had, and they kind of made the rune word system similar to Diablo 2's, or even a ripoff, to be honest, I'd be good with that. It would be far more interesting. And I think you'd be hard-pressed to find any gamer that knows about that system, that's played it, and wouldn't agree that it's a superior way to do things. Like, again, I think they try too hard to, like, give a fresh take on it, and the result is something inferior. And it's like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they did it for the casual gamer. Maybe they found Diablo 2's rune word system too complicated for the casual gamer. But, like, it's really not. You know, any child could do it. When I was a child, I would make rune words. So, like, I don't know. Anyway, here's hoping they continue to work out the bugs of Diablo 4 and the things that could use a lot of polish. And, like, you know, I really hope that they, over time, improve the systems like the rune word system.
What is this?
Like the sockets and how many sockets you're allowed, etc. Okay, I guess I found something, some sort of... sorry guys, I'm just rambling to myself. I thought I had found something, but I don't think so. But yeah, I mean, overall, it is a fun expansion. Like, I know I haven't said that many things to, like, wow you. But you could just tell from looking on screen as I'm playing, like, you get to ride around on what's called the Basilisk. Once you complete something in the campaign that basically rewards you that skin. It's just a reskin of the horse, essentially, all the different creature types. But it's fun, I'll admit. Like, at first I found it to be a bit gimmicky, and like now I'm having a lot of fun with it, right? I'm embracing what Diablo 4 is, rather than focusing on what it's not, right? And I'm trying to have fun with it, and you know what? I am having fun with it. And I think the best way to describe Diablo 4 is that it's actually a combination of Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. And the reason I say that is because it plays a lot like Diablo 3 as far as the arcadey aspect, as far as like some of the enemy types and things like that. But at the same time, it's a lot darker than Diablo 3, and it harkens back to that Diablo 2 gothic style vibe, right? So it plays like a love child of Diablo 2 and 3 with a much better setting than Diablo 3 had, because Diablo 3 very much played like an arcade shooter. It was on rails, like there was no open world feeling to it. You were on rails and that was it, right? You could go from point A to B, and it was usually through some sort of like narrow corridor type map, and you know, the aesthetics would change. Sorry, that's just an alarm here for myself. The aesthetics would change from map to map, but essentially it was always this like tight quarter combat, limited exploration. It felt like you were on the rails, essentially, like a guided experience. So I never liked that about Diablo 3, even though I greatly enjoyed that game, and maybe one day we'll cover content on this channel if there's enough interest from the viewership. But honestly, like this is the answer. Is Diablo 4 is this open world? Like, here, I'll clear these enemies up. I was only gonna do like 15-minute video. That's what the alarm was about. But I think we'll make this a 20-minute video. I don't want to just arbitrarily end here. Um, if you guys look at the map, it's absolutely massive, and like I haven't even explored all of it yet, right? The visible parts are the parts I've traveled, and the invisible parts are parts I'm yet to travel. So like there's entire regions of Nahantu I haven't seen Nahantu that I haven't explored because I haven't played that campaign yet. Like I was being honest, I played a little bit of the original, and I played a little bit of Nahantu, but like not a lot, right? Not enough to cover the whole thing. So there's still a lot to explore. And like this makes the world feel a lot more alive, having this kind of like open world feeling with Diablo 4 than Diablo 3 ever did. Like Diablo 3, you have to really think about it as a arcade experience and appreciate that that's what it is, right? And so again, not to belabor the point, but I really am enjoying this kind of synergy of Diablo 2, Diablo 3 in this open world setting. I think it's fantastic. The only thing that kind of irks me still about the game, and I've touched on it already, is the itemization. Once they can make the itemization as addictive as they did with Diablo 2, like once they figure out that secret sauce, both with the rune root system and the unique system, and they need to bring back sets. Like I don't know what they were thinking, but like the only thing that you can have a set of, apparently, again, as far as my understanding goes, please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, is charms. So they've changed the charm system. I like what they've done as far as like active charms. You can only have 6 active charms when you have a corresponding seal that allows 6 charms slotted. Right now I have 5, right? So I can slot up to 5. And the charms themselves are set charms, right? So as you can see, I've got 2 different sets going here. And like, I love the concept. It's very cool. I have no issue with them doing this. I think they should keep this. But they should bring back sets for actual body armor and things like that. I don't know why they thought to get rid of that. So that's something I dislike. I'm really trying to give you guys like an honest pros and cons from the heart. Normally I make notes and stuff like that, and I try to keep my videos more organized, but I find that also leads to more like rigid presentation. And so I just thought, you know what, why don't I just open up the game, play around while I'm chatting and to you guys, and you guys can kind of see what the game looks like. And so, okay, investigate the abandoned ruins. So I still didn't find what I'm supposed to find. I do find this part about Diablo 4 a little bit annoying. It has these kinds of like little puzzle or platformer aspects to it. And like, I know some people enjoy that greatly, but like Diablo never was that. You know, Diablo's always basically been just a straightforward hack and slash RPG. And I hope they keep it that way, right? Like, I don't need to activate a bunch of different pedestals, and I don't know, those elements feel a little bit extra, like, not in a good way, for me anyway. All this investigate stuff, like, it's part of the campaign, I get it, but like, sometimes the thing you're looking for is not very readily obvious, and so you're just kind of moseying around trying to find what the thing is, and like, it's just not a lot of fun, right? A lot of aspects of Diablo 4 still feel too grindy, they still feel too belabored. They can do more to streamline certain aspects of the game. So anyway, I'm not going to make you guys listen to plot points. Who is that? Hellboy? Looks like Hellboy. This reminds me of a scene from Hellboy when he's running around when the Nazis open the portal to the Hell Gate or whatever the lore there is, and Hellboy's like a little baby running around. And he's really cute. Anyway, great movies. If you've never seen the Hellboy movies, give those a watch. All of them, even the new one, I thought was good, even though it's not Ron Perlman anymore.
There's a man named
I still thought, even the new one was well done.
He leads a group of mercenaries called the Pale Hand.
So another thing about the open world, if you haven't really heard too much about Diablo 4 before this video, is in order to traverse this massive like map, right, and like even zooming out, you can see it's absolutely massive. Is that they give you these mounts. Mine is a basilisk. You can change this to all sorts of other cool stuff, like, for example, I have this horse, they call them transmogs, right? It's like things that change the appearance of other things. So here we would go to the horse, and you can see I've got the basilisk right now. I've got, actually, sorry, this one's called Flameheart, so this is like a different type of creature, but I could be the basilisk. Right? Or rather, my horse could be the basilisk. You could change what kind of like trophy he has on the side here, depending on what trophies you have available, right? Depending on what quests you've done. So I think that one looks kind of cool, so we'll just have that one on there. You can have this like very cool, so like I had my horse, and then like on the horse, you can have different looks, right? So like this is the latest one that I unlocked with those tokens I was telling you guys about. That's pretty badass. Like the fact that you can get that in game without having to pay for it is cool. So I have to admit, from that standpoint, Blizzard, you guys got me hooked on the cosmetics game. It's fun, right? Like I love that I could just ride this around. So like, okay, we'll equip it. I'll show you guys what I mean. Yep, save changes. So now when I call my mount, I get that horse instead of that creature I was riding. I get this horse now. And you know what? Maybe we'll keep this horse now for a bit. I actually really like the appearance of the armor. Really helps with the whole fantasy. And like, you can do different things. You know, I've got these like wings that I got with the expansion, right? I think it's like Mephisto wings. If you want to take them off and be more immersive, you could do that, right? So I took them off. If you want to change the transmog on your weapon, so like this weapon looks awesome, I think I will keep it. But let's say if I did wish to change it, you know, you just pick your look, and okay, interesting. It's locked, but at the same time... Oh, it's because I'm wearing it, that's why. Okay, interesting. So I wonder what happens. And I can't get it back. Okay, so that's interesting to note. So, until you salvage certain weapons, you don't get, like, the transmog. Okay, there we go. I guess I did get my transmog back. So never mind. Yeah, I got it back. Okay. I thought maybe you lose the appearance until you salvage that look. That was my ultimate, I guess, just witnessed it. So like, this game visually is very cool. Also, when I use that ultimate, there's like an aspect to it where you can control sort of where those spears land. There is a bit of RNG involved, but like you can give it a general landing direction, and it will more or less land in that spot, and so it's a good way to aim your ultimate, right? You also have like pets that can pick up stuff. I don't know why my pet right now isn't picking things up for me. Right, you can have different pets. There he is. Okay, yeah, he picks up your gold and stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. But I mean, look at this build. This is the hammer thing. Look how much fun that is. It's so fun. I miss Enigma from Diablo 2. Like, if I haven't looked into it to see if they have anything like that that allows teleportation. But if they have teleportation for the Paladin and I can be teleporting Hammerden, like, that's it, I'm hooked. So I gotta say, I will be making more Diablo 4 content. Like, just look at the visuals too. It's absolutely beautiful. One thing you guys might not know about me is I'm an artist. I'm a visual artist. Like, one of my goals on this channel is to one day harness a community of like-minded individuals where we can pool our ideas, time, resources, and create a game together, right? Like, this is a gaming channel, so I think it would be a really cool synthesis of everything I'm trying to build here if one day we can actually put our own game together. And so I'm an artist, and so I'm one of those people. I'm one of those annoying people, perhaps, where graphics matter. You know, like how beautiful a game is really pulls me in. And it's just little details. Like if you guys look on screen and you see like that fire inside of the furnace there, and just like the art itself in this game, it's just immaculate, right? Like it has this rustic fantasy kind of quality to it. And anyway, we'll just speed up the conversation here. But like, just everything, the towns, the enemies, the way the characters look, right? You can rotate your character here. I'm just noticing that he's got kind of like a Freemasonic compass behind the sword. There's like a pattern there. Yeah, that's definitely a compass. I guess it doesn't have to be Freemasonic. It could just be a compass. Okay, very cool, man. I have to say this game's been a lot of fun. So far, I probably sunk about 24 hours into it. I would say, and I haven't regretted like a minute of it. And like I'm almost at level 70, and I haven't been playing obsessively just to level. Right, I've been like, exploring game systems and exploring merchants and like just doing different things. So like if I had been strictly focused on just leveling up, I'm sure I would have already been like Paragon 10 or something by now, or Paragon 15 or whatever, right? But I haven't been that like obsessively focused on leveling. So what else can I show you guys? The skill tree is much improved. You, instead of all those little passive nodes and things in between, I know people liked those for like min-maxing and like micro niche builds, but honestly I find this more intuitive and more interesting. I feel like everything you pick now for like a skill has impact, and as far as I can tell, you can no longer level anything outside of the skill itself. You just make decisions, which keeps things honestly organized and feasible, right? Because otherwise you'd need like 1,000 skill points to max out all the tiny nodes. So we'll take this core skill, for example, and then we'll wrap up this video. I don't want it going too long. It's called Holy Bolt, right? So you cast, I'll show you what it looks like. Let's just get out of this town. Where can we go? Sorry guys, like I said, I'm still learning the game. Like I'm just trying to figure out how to get out of here. Okay, I guess I'll through here. So okay, Holy Bolt, right? So that's Holy Bolt. That's really cool actually how the trees get hit by the skill. That's really cool. So Holy Bolt just shoots out a hammer, and then I'll show you the modifiers on it. Okay, so first modifier here is Faith Generation. It generates an additional 7 faith, but you can also pick an option where it applies Judgment. You guys saw that different places. I'll show you why I didn't take this option in a moment. Then ricocheting bolt ricochets it to 3 more enemies. So that's 4 enemies total with your core skill that you're hitting. It's kind of like lightning fury for the Amazon in Diablo 2, where it spreads to other enemies. There's not very many, but same idea. This node gives me increased cast speed and up to 30% for 4 seconds. It also decreases the cooldown. Didn't realize it even had a cooldown. The other option was this thing, which allows slow. It's fine. It's just not as interesting. So the reason I picked the extra faith over judgment is that when you go to your oaths here, if you pick this adjudicator one, it gives you a free judgment on your core skills. So like it's doing that also basically, right? Without having to pick it in the skill tree. So that's why I skipped it. As far as like actual skills, there's only 2 core skills for Hammerden as far as I'm concerned. Again, I don't espouse to be a Diablo 4 Pro yet, so don't take my word for it, but I did beat the game this way if that's what you're after. It did get me to the end game. You want to max Holy Bolt as your like themed core skill or basic skill, and use these allocations that I showed: the cast speed, the ricocheting bolt, and the faith generation, along with the adjudication oath. And then the only other core skill you need, of course, is Blessed Hammer. And then you want to deck it out with the damage bonus. You guys can read up on what that does later. The cast speed bonus, and then you want to select Disciples Halo. Well, you could play around, to be honest here. I did play around. They're all fine, really. Right now I'm using this one before I was using this one. Okay? So it's whatever you want. I'm yet to try this one. Don't really know what it does. It just seems less interesting. So yeah, I mean, I'm using this one right now. You guys kind of saw how it looks. Oh, sorry guys, I guess I'm tired. Yeah, what can I say? Like, don't listen to all the negativity online. There's a lot of people being negative online. Hey, what else is new, right? But saying, like, Diablo 4 sucks, blah, blah, blah. Maybe they were right up till this point. Maybe they had a point up till now. But I have to say, this new expansion has turned Diablo 4 into a very fun game. It's unfortunate that you have to make almost like a $200 investment by the time you have the base game and the 2 expansions to make it like a complete experience. I feel like that's where the experience is cheapened a bit. I feel like Blizzard needs to do better in terms of either providing expansions for free and balancing that out with paid cosmetics and things like that, and then make their money that way. Or if they need to continue with paid expansions, but like reduce the price a little bit. Because I gotta be honest, these like $60 expansions that keep getting put out, like they're phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to belittle the work that's gone into these, right? Like the artistry and the development time and everything like that. I have respect for that. But as a gamer, like it's getting so expensive to just enjoy the experience. And I feel bad for the little kids growing up today where I had the Diablo 2 experience. Maybe their Diablo 2 is Diablo 4, and maybe they don't have like 180, $200 laying around to make these purchases, right? So I do wish affordability was taken into account more, but beyond that, I gotta say it's a great game. If I had to give my like closing thoughts, I would say pros, or let's do cons first. I would say cons: Runeward system. If you're coming from Diablo 2, you're going to be very underwhelmed by the Runeward system. Itemization is okay. It's fun. Like I like these boots that have the ice effect. I feel like itemization can be pushed further to make more unique and memorable items. They need to bring back item sets, right, and not reserve it just for the charms. It's kind of silly. Um, and then as far as pros, honestly, everything else, like, I mean, fantastic visuals. You can absolutely get lost in this world, right? Just look at how cool these macros are. Like, this is just awesome. I'm having a blast going through the world, facing off against all these different cool-looking enemies, and seeing what kind of loot I can find that pushes the build further. I gotta say, another aspect I'm really enjoying about it is that it's a new experience. So it's still in the Diablo universe, which I've grown to love, but it's a brand new experience. So I'm getting the novelty of like, Diablo 2 is a game I've spent 25 plus years with. There's very little that surprises or excites me in it anymore. And I don't mean that as a negative. Like, I'm excited when I play the game, but there's no sort of discovery. So I shouldn't say it doesn't excite me, but I don't feel a sense of discovery anymore in Diablo 2 because honestly, I've discovered everything there is. I like it that they're putting out new content with Reign of the Warlock, which pushes that a little bit, but they haven't pushed it far enough. They've only introduced a few new uniques and things like that. So anyway, I don't want to talk too much about a different game in this video. And as a matter of fact, I do want to wrap it up. But check it out. You can kill the wildlife. So like I just killed a donkey. If I want to kill that, see I killed the elk. It's, it's mean, but it's fun. So you can go hunting, so to speak. It's like a mini game if you want. You can make out of it like, oh, how many elk can you hunt in 5 minutes or whatever, right? So I just like little things like that that kind of breathe life into the world. The fact that there's animals that inhabit these worlds, and the fact that those animals can get caught in the crossfire, is a fun little element. It harkens back to like StarCraft when was this, I think it was like all those like RTS games from back in the day, like StarCraft. I guess even Diablo 2, where you'd have these like little critters walking around that you could either like explode or you could step on them or things like that. Even Warcraft with the exploding sheep, right? So it's not like it's an original idea, but it is a fun one, right? Like it's kind of like a tried, tested, and true little, almost like a mini game within the game, right? So guys, don't worry, I am going to make a lot more Diablo 4 content. If you did enjoy it, this won't be the last video by any means. But we are going to wrap it up there for now. And look, I'm really curious what everyone thought. I realized, I'm not a pro, so this wasn't the most like, exciting or informative video. It wasn't meant to be. It's more like I'm just testing the waters. Do you guys want to see me make content in Diablo 4? Where we're exploring the game together, getting to know it, seeing all the improvements? Or do you guys really just want me to stick only to Diablo 2 content? Very curious. Let me know. Alright guys, it was nice hanging out with you today. Please, 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 I keep forgetting, give me a like and a sub. I know it's annoying to have to hear this. Full transparency, when I'm watching YouTube, which is all day long, I'm a huge YouTube consumer, I'm irked or annoyed by hearing other creators ask me to like and subscribe, so like I get it. But then now that I'm on the other end of that equation and I'm a creator myself, I gotta be honest with you, it's rough. Like, people will comment, people will give me likes, so thank you for that. I'm not complaining. But as far as subscribing, I feel like unless I ask them personally in the comments, and that seems to work, and I appreciate you guys for responding to me with subscriptions, I feel like people don't, I don't know, they're not prompted to subscribe. And I can't tell if the content isn't good enough, in which case, please tell me, and what I'm doing wrong, or if it's just that people need to be reminded. So in that case, I guess I have to be more vocal and keep reminding people, please subscribe. I want to monetize the channel. I want to be able to do this full time. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but like I haven't posted in almost a week because I've been job hunting in the real world, and I've got bills to pay, right? Unfortunately, so if I don't start making money with YouTube, I'll have even less time that I'll be able to give towards it, because I'll have to reappropriate that time towards like a real world job so I can pay my bills. I'm not rich. I don't come from money. Me and my partner are working class people, and unfortunately I've been off work for like a year. Not by choice. I've been really hard like looking for work with the job hunt, but like you guys know, the economy is what it is. I'm not going to get into all that. This is not a channel about politics or economics, so I'm not going to get into it, but I will say, for anyone struggling in their job hunt, I feel you. My heart goes out to you. I hope you find your job soon. Also, I do want to say I recently accepted a job offer with a huge corporation. I won't name who they are, but they're a huge American corporation, and I'm very grateful to them for the opportunity, quite honestly. They're a company I shop at, and they're a company that I know is stable and is going to be there so I can provide for my family and pay the bills, right? So I'm very grateful that I was recently hired, and I hope for everyone who is struggling in the job hunt that you find your spot suit too. You guys all deserve to work if that's what you want to do, and to be able to pay your bills and provide for your family. So, anyway, guys, I'm sorry this video's gone so long. Check out Diablo 4, it's a phenomenal game. Um, if you check it out and don't like it, please don't come back and tell me so. It's completely subjective, okay? Just like in my other video where the character's using a destruction rune word and everyone jumped on me because like those runes are hard to find. They're not. It's subjective. Like that's really what it comes down to. Yeah, it might take you like a month of gaming to get all those runes, but if you know what you're doing, you will find them. It's just that simple. So everything is kind of subjective. Whether or not Diablo 4 is a good game is also subjective. I think it is. I think it's starting to resemble Diablo 2 more and more, except with much better graphics and a much more fleshed out world that doesn't feel so static. And yeah, well, what can I say? I can't wait to play some more and film some more content about it. And like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.